Hey there, survivors. Cougar here, back with more of The Long Dark. Now, I had so much fun playing through Wintermute Episode 3 with you guys that I thought I'd play a little bit more, some straight up survival. So we are spawning in at a random location. Now, I'll talk about my difficulty settings in just a second. We have spawned in. I'm not really sure where we are right now. I think we're in one of the final maps, one of the last maps added. Unless we're in the railway overpass, the trestle area. We'll have to figure this out as we go along. Hold on, I'll talk about my difficulty settings when we get past this noisy waterfall. Man, that is one loud waterfall. All the way up at the top of... Okay, I think I kind of might know where we are. In which case, there might be a little shack, a hut down here. I think we're on Coastal Highway. And I think we're up at the top of Coastal Highway. Which is actually a great spawn. I mean, Coastal Highway, it's probably... In an effort to make this difficult, I probably would not have chosen this as a spawn, so... Okay, we'll deal with it. Very, very dark in here. You're not going to be able to see a thing. I can't see a thing. I have a couple of... looks like I spawned with a couple of matches here. Let's see if we can use these. I'm going to talk about my difficulty settings in just a minute, but let's just quickly get through here. Looks like there might have been something... There was something back in there. I'm going to have to burn another match here. Alright, just a little bit of beef jerky. This looks like about it in here. There may be another box under one of these beds. Gotta do it quickly before this match burns out. Nope, that's it. Okay. Let's just search a drawer. Alright, difficulty settings wise. Now, I like this to be difficult and challenging, but there are a couple of... and Interloper is the most difficult setting. But there are a couple of things about the Interloper settings, some restrictions, and just how it can be really, really punishing. And there are a couple of settings that I turned down. But we start... What I do is I start on Interloper, and then I use the custom settings to just dial back a couple of the things that I find a little bit annoying about Interloper. This is stupid. Oh well, I did it. But we do have, this is Interloper levels of respawn, of spawn rates. So we're going to have low chance of finding anything that's going to help us. And we're already freezing. I didn't take a look at my inventory to see what we started with. Obviously we started with some matches, but... which is amazing because that can be one of the hardest things to not start with. One of the most difficult things to not start with. If you start an Interloper play, you won't start with matches on you. And finding matches is your top priority at that point because you need, obviously, to be able to warm up, but there are other ways you can go about warming up even if you don't have any matches to start a fire. You know, you can just climb under the covers for a while, that kind of thing. It might be worth a quick trip up there. I think we're a little too cold to get up there. One thing we could be doing here, we're following the road back down, which is fine, but we could be going straight down the mountain too. That's just a little bit riskier, especially in our current state where we don't have any painkillers, or we may not even have any bandages on us. I didn't stop to check my inventory when we were indoors, which I should have, and I'm not going to do it now that we're outdoors. We should be almost down to the bottom of this mountain that we started on up there. And Coastal Highway has lots of houses on it. That's actually when people ask, you know, what's a good place for a beginner to start, I say Coastal Highway because there are just a lot of locations to visit, a lot of potential spawn points, and it's pretty easy to get around because outside, yeah, all right, it's Coastal Highway. Because outside of these mountains around the water, you've got this big lake down there. And it's pretty easy to keep your bearings, to get your bearings and maintain your bearings and know where you are at any given point because you can always reference that lake. See, we could try sliding right down the mountain here, but that's going to be pretty dangerous. So this is Coastal Highway, guys, if you've never been here before. And we should come across a bunch of houses right down here at the base of this road. So we've got weather variability set to high, weather severity set to high, spawn chance, loot spawn chance is set to low. I did make it so that a rifle can spawn in this game, which is one of the things I don't like about Interloper, is that you're forced to use the bow and arrow. And to use a bow and arrow, you have to craft a bow and arrow. You're probably not going to find one. So, and that just can really slow down. When you get to the point where you want to do some hunting, which we're not going to be at until we find a knife or make a knife. There's a wolf. There are 2 wolves out there on the lake. 3, actually, that I can see. You're not going to be in a position to do any hunting until you have a knife with which to harvest your kills. So we'll worry about that when we get there. I'm going to take a second here to look at our inventory. Let me just have a quick look around, see if there's anything fantastic for us in here. No. Oh, well. That's great, but we have no way to open this can. I mean, we can bang on it until it comes open, but we're going to lose a lot of the food in there in the process. So I'm just going to hang on to that until we find a can opener. And speaking of which, let's check our inventory. Wow, we actually spawned with a lot of stuff. This is a lot more stuff than I had anticipated spawning with. I wanted it to be a little bit harder, to be honest. We've got a scarf, we've got gloves, we've got trail boots. Man, I'm having second thoughts about following through on this because we've started with really good stuff already. Not great stuff, though. We started with some painkillers. It's good stuff. It's not great stuff. We got to warm up a little bit. I'm just going to spend an hour in bed here to warm up before going back out. Yeah, so that our hypothermia risk is reduced at least. Let's see what else we can do out here. Now, the majority of the rest of the houses are that direction, but there are a handful back up this way that I think we want to hit first, because then they'll be out of the way at that point. We will know that we have, I don't know, because, well, we'll see. I'm going to go this way first. I know this is the way we just came, but we haven't been on the road that long. I should start picking up some wood here. We're going to need a fire at some point. And having those matches on us, that really changes. I was anticipating this being a really difficult start, and just a random luck made it not so difficult. Spawning with matches is almost cheating, to be honest, in my view. And spawning with trail boots and mittens is kind of cheating too. My character level was set, the gear that you spawn with was set to low on our difficulty settings. We just happened to get the gear that we did get happened to be really good gear. Pick up a stone in case I need to throw it at a rabbit at some point. Not going to be able to open the trunk, but let's check inside. Wow, a heavy hammer. That's a really good spawn. You need this to make stuff at a forge, which we're probably going to have to do at some point. If we don't find what we need in terms of tools. You can use the heavy hammer to make a makeshift knife, and you can use it to make a makeshift axe, both of which we want. But we're going to need to find a forge to do that. I don't think there's a forge on Coastal Highway. I don't think there is. We're so close to this fishing hut, I'm going to run out there. I don't see any wolves on the ice over here. You can also use that heavy hammer as a weapon to fight off wolves. It's actually, I think, the most effective weapon for fighting off wolves, but it has a very low chance of actually killing the wolf. But it will get them off you, really, in a really effective manner. I'm going to check these boats out here. Sometimes you can find rope. And then we'll go up and check those cabins. Come on, get up there. Nothing over here. We could use the heavy hammer to break down some of these pallets if we need the wood. And here is a workbench. Great, with a frozen angler book that will help us improve our fishing skills. I hear wolves, stale granola bar, and a septic. And I wanted this to be harder. I wanted this to be really challenging, and we're just getting really, really lucky with what we're finding off the bat here. What I really need is some better clothes. We can take a minute to rip up these curtains. I think I'm going to do that. It's going to help us warm up a little bit, and we need that cloth. We should make some bandages. I don't think we have any bandages on us right now. And we're warming up a tiny bit in here just by virtue of being out of the wind, but not much. We could climb under the covers for an hour again. I don't want to lose too much daylight here on our first day. Especially since we're going to be coming up on an area where there are cattails. Oh, gosh. A decent wool sweater. This is too easy. Well, let's put it on. I mean, I can't say no to taking advantage of the stuff we're finding. We're finding it legit, even on what should be a harder difficulty setting. I'm gonna rip up one more curtain here. Warm up a little bit more. Okay, let's go. Yeah, if I wanted to make this really hard, I would have chosen a more difficult map to start on. And I would have thrown away those matches when I first realized that we had them. But, you know, it was legit. The settings were right. We just have gotten really, really lucky. Guess we should be grateful. I think we're going to have to climb under the covers for an hour here at this spot because our next destination is down the road a bit. There's a rifle cartridge. And I guess we do need some papers here. We're going to need a way to start a fire. Nothing in the crate. More papers. Nothing on the walls. Well, there's cloth. We don't need it right this second. A book will take for starting a fire. More cloth we could rip up. And let's climb under the covers for 1 hour to warm up before heading out again. Snoozy, snoozy. It's probably about 3 in the afternoon now. Okay, let's go. Sounds like, well, the wind is blowing, but it's not storming, it's not snowing, so we won't be getting wet. Finding that heavy hammer was great, but that's in the realm of what I would potentially expect from a difficult custom difficulty setting. The matches I would not expect. The mittens I would not expect. There's a deer out there. We have no way to kill him. And no way to harvest him, even if we did kill him. So I think, in terms of finding a forge to make ourselves a knife, I think the way to do that is going to be to head for Forlorn Muskeg, which is on the other side of the starting map. Mystery Lake. Which is this direction, but we've got a lot. Oh my gosh, a small arms handbook. Great. We got a lot. Dragon driving gloves would be terrific if I didn't already have those mittens. But we'll hang on to those and we'll tear them up and we'll use the cured leather to repair up our boots if they get damaged. A note left behind. Wes, I'm going to try to make it to Mystery Lake. I'm running low on everything, but we can find enough to get us through till spring, and then we can try to make it back to Calgary. Meet me there. We'll stay for a while. Follow the tracks in from the Carter Dam, it should say. You'll see the lodge building, but we'll make for the cabins across the lake. Bring anybody you can find. Bring food and a deck of cards. See you soon, Heather. So Heather went this direction, back toward Mystery Lake, which we could do too. In fact, I think this is as far as we can go without leaving for Mystery Lake. Yeah, going through here is going to take us off the map. Whoa. I thought this was how you got off the map. Oh, we would have to go back up to where we started. So basically we started at the entrance to Mystery Lake and then came down the mountain to here. But there's still a lot of good stuff here in Coastal Highway. Or a lot of potential for finding good stuff. So we're going to stay here. We're not, for now. We're not going to beeline it for Forlorn Muskeg, which is probably what you'd want to do on Interloper difficulty, because that's the only way you're going to get a knife or a hatchet, is to make it yourself. On the difficulty settings that I've chosen, we still have a low chance to find a knife and a hatchet. I'm gonna go cross country here, or cross water, and hit that fishing pond, there's a deer. That deer is still out there. I may even continue on to the islands. We're getting really cold now. But there's a nice house up there on that island, just beyond this fishing hut. We could stop in at and check out. Could actually, it's a good central base. It's a good location, good central location for a base. I got to get some charcoal out of the stove there so I can start surveying the local area and making a map for myself. So yes, you do have a map on survival, but it does not show you where you are, and you have to fill it in. Now, we already have mittens. I'm going to leave those. Rifle ammo, fine. Maybe we'll find a rifle at some point. There are wolves in between us and where I want to go. Well, one wolf anyway. He's right at the base of that mountain, the hill there. I don't know if you can see him or not. I think we can get behind him as long as he doesn't have any buddies with him, which he may. They may be right on the other side of this little rise right here. But if he doesn't, then we can probably get around behind him. Even if they saw us right now, I'll bet we could get up to that house up there before they attacked. Alright, let's see if he had any buddies with him. Nope. So he's gone around the right side of the island there. And hopefully he won't be coming back. I don't see him. We're okay. We're moving really slowly here. We're getting thirsty. We're freezing cold. We gotta make some water. There's Old Man's beard over there. But we're so cold now. We gotta get inside. We're gonna get hypothermia any second. Jackrabbit Island. And you know why they call it that? Because you can hunt for rabbits here. So Jackrabbit Island actually makes a nice central location if you're going to stay here in Coastal Highway for a while. The only potential problem with it is that it's up on top of this mountain, and every time you go down these hills, it's up on top of this hill, and every time you go down those hills, you're risking spraining an ankle. All right, we got some serious looting to do here. Ooh, fresh lake whitefish cooked. That's a nice find. We'll hang on to that for just a minute. So if you watched the episode 3 playthrough that I did just recently, you heard me talk about the starvation approach to playing the game, which is you don't eat anything all day long, and you just eat before going to bed. Man, we're finding a lot of food. I may have to go back and check these settings or start over, because we're finding a lot more stuff than I would expect to find on these difficulty settings. Food especially. What I was about to say before we found all that food was that you're kind of this difficulty setting, you're kind of forced to play that starvation approach, where you don't eat anything at all day long, and you just eat before going to bed, so that you don't go to bed with an empty stomach, and then your overall condition will regenerate as you sleep. Oh my gosh, look at all this food I'm finding. It's ridiculous. A brand new pork and beans. I'm shocked. I'm shocked, and I feel like there's something wrong with my settings here. We should not be finding all this good stuff. I'll take the ragged dress shirt. I don't think... Yeah, well, it's... We don't... No, drop it. It's not better than anything we have already. Check under the bed. Nope. We are very, 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 very thirsty, and the one thing we did not find in the midst of all that good food we just found was something to drink, but here we go. I'll drink out of the toilet. I'm not proud. Let's drink up some of that right now. And then we're just going to hold on to all that food and we're going to eat before we go to bed. Even if we get really, really hungry. Nothing in the tub. There are towels we could rip up for cloth if we needed them. I think we're okay. Since we don't even have a sewing kit yet, we don't have any need for the cloth other than to make bandages. I think that's it from the house at Jackrabbit Island. Our biggest find here, outside of all that incredible food, which we have no can opener to open, was the water. We needed that water. And didn't have to start a fire to get it, which is a big bonus. I think there were more rose hips over here. I was too tired to grab, or not, I was too cold to grab them. Okay, see this is what there's a wolf down there. We don't want to go that way. I think we're gonna, I mean, that's the way we want to go. Man, he almost looks like he's seen us. He's coming right for us. Hey, Wolfie, there's a deer right over there. Why don't you go eat up that deer? So he's between us and where we want to go, so change of plans. Let's go out to this fishing hut here. We have not been to that one yet. We just got to be really careful going down this hill. That wolf is close. He's right on the other side of this big rock. I can hear him. Slide down this hill on our butts here. Just twist an ankle. Oh, more wolves, more wolves. There's a wolf there, and then I heard one off to the left there. Let's put the deer between us and the wolf. Yeah, he'll be more interested in the deer than he will us. Oh, there are two, there are three. There are three, they're coming right at us. Hopefully they'll all go after that deer, and we can dart in for the... Yeah, the wolves took the deer down, but this one is still coming at me. Oh, man. The thing to do now is to scare off that wolf. Of course... Oh, shoot. We're sprinting right now, but we're sprinting right into the wind. We're going to have to go back up to the cabin to try to shake that wolf. We got nothing else. We don't even have a flare on us, I don't think. Nope. Oh, dead body there. Shoot. Quick search. Nothing. He's not going to be able to get to us before we get to the top here. There's another one. Get away, get away, get away! I'm going to hit him with the... We're bleeding, but we scared him off. Let's get inside and patch up. So yeah, as I was saying, that hammer is a great Great. We need antiseptic too. We have some. We found some antiseptic already. To fight infection risk from our wolf bite. Probably ripped our clothes up a little bit too. See if he really destroyed anything. No, we're okay. Now, I'd like to give it a little bit longer. Maybe we lie down for an hour. What time is it? Oh, sun will be going down in an hour, but let's give it an hour because we're very cold and I want those wolves to go away. Sun's still up for now. I should have crouched before leaving the house. There are wolves over a dead something down there. If that's a human, there's a chance they have a rifle on them, so we might want to try to get down there. Let's just check out the wolf situation here. There's one right down at the base of the hill there, see him? And that's right where we want to go. If he continues walking away, we might be able to sneak past him and see what those crows are flying over. That's a good way to break a leg. I have lost eyes on that wolf. I don't know where he is. It's right there. This is the guy we already hurt. You sure you want some? I already kicked your ass. Okay, so there you go. Killed by a wolf. I thought it was a great start, and we were going to go on and on and on, but that was it. That is the long dark for you right there, in a nutshell. We survived less than a day, and the wolves are deadly. And we'll do another, I'm going to start another run and try to survive more than a day, but that's the long dark. So, thanks for watching, everybody. Leave a like and subscribe if you enjoyed this short but interesting expedition into survival mode in the long dark. Stay safe, survivors.